Բարի երեկո սիրելի բարեկամներ։ Այսօրվա մեր հյուրն է Dr. Alex Balekian, որ մեր շրջանից ենք, որպես congressional candidate, պիտի hopefully replace-ն է Adam Schiffin, որ 20 տարի ավելի այս շրջանին եղած է Congress-ի ներկայացուցիչը։ Այս առաջին անգամն է, որ մեր բարեկամներեն կփորձեք որ աթոր առնի։ Անշուշտ իր հագարակ գործն է Laura Friedman-ը։ So սկսենք նախ մեր հարցումներով մեր սիրելի բարեկամին Alex Balekian-ին։ Բարի եկացեք։
Բարի տեսանք։
Welcome.
Thank you. Շատ merci.
Okay. How's the campaign first of all?
The campaign լավ է, սպառված ենք, շատ սպառված ենք. It's like a full-time
job.
Second unpaid job. Բայց լավ է որ ավելի շատ մարդոց կխոսենք որ գերտանք որ շրջանի մեջ Չեթե մինակ Glendale, Burbank, Ertankor, Hollywood, West Hollywood, մյուս տեղերը։
Որը district-ը մեծ է։
Շատ մեծ է, այո։
Շատ մեծ district է։
Շատ մեծ է, Glendale, Burbank, Sunland, Tahunga, Hollywood, West Hollywood, եւ ակիչ մնա Pasadena եւ Silver Lake։ Ուրեմն
So ոչ հայերական շրջաններում է, օրինակ Silver Lake կամ
հայերը 15% են
of the
district, այո։ So մեծամասնությունը չեն փայծ, բավական Հայությունգա, այո։
Is there any opinion public poll եղած է so far?
Չեն կրած public poll չեն կրած I mean նույնիսկ եթե ասեն որ լավ է կամ քեշ է, պիտի չանք թափենք։
Այո։
Բայց you know I'm not under any illusions. Yes, անզանոթ անցմեն եմ։ Անոր համար գերտամ գոր գծանոթանամ գոր մարդոց հետ քաղաքացիներուն հետ եւ Laura Friedman-ը որ ավելի ծանոթ է մարդիկ իրեն գճանչնան ինքը չանք չթափեր գոր so it's her election to lose and she's not doing anything she doesn't want to rock the boat անոր համար մենք պետք է չանանք մենք պետք է համարձակելանք որ իրեն քիչմը քաշենք
Այսինքն ինքը կգարձեք որ որպես դեմոկրատ district-ը դեմոկրատ է ինքը comfortable է իր position-ի մեջ
Ինք արդեն LA Times just wrote an article ինքը գսե որ մարդիկ իրեն գերտան որ գսեն congratulations congresswoman արդեն ինքը շահադի բես you know շահադի բես գերտագոր so an վիճակով գսեմ եթե ինքը գուզե ձույլ լալ որտեվ գարձե թե արդեն շահադե let her do that բայց մենք չանկը թափենք որ պիտի աշխատենք պիտի հաղթենք
Ինչ է մարդոց բան as you meet different people in the district Ինչ է իրենց opinion ինչ կսեն քեզի
Ինչ է նույն խնդիրները they have the same problems homelessness high cost of living crime so
Հարցեր որոնք մարդիկ կուզեն ջարմը
Այո եթե նույնիսկ լան է high կամ օդար նույնիսկ եթե լան է ընտանիք կամ single մարդիկ նույն խնդիրները ունին ինչու ասչափ տրամ գուդամ գոր եւ հազիվ օրվանտացքին կքաշեմ գոր կքաշքշեմ գոր ինչու ասչափ վարձ կուդամ գոր գերտամ թուրսը homeless-ներ անդեղ բարգածեն վրաններուն դագը so նույն խնդիրներն են եւ արդեն հիմա հուլիս 1-ին գազը բենզինը 50 سنت պիտի բարձրանա ինչու աս ամեն politician-ներուն երեսեն մինակ գիտեն ծախսել մեր ծրամներով անոր բաճարով շատ մարդիկ նույն խնդիրներ են կքանքադին գոր
Արդեն գազը ուրիշ նահանգներ են 1 سنت ավելի է 1 դոլար է ավելի է այսինքն ատկեվրա another 50 cents որև ուրիշ նահանգներ գերտամ ես կորձով իմ կորձից բաճարով գազը 3.5 դոլար է հոսքու կամ 5 դոլար է
5 դոլար է եւ կասեմ որ հուլիս 1-ին 50 سنت պիտի ավեցնեն քինը որովհետեւ թիթմամբ կնեն որովհետեւ գսեն եթե սուղցնենք քինը մարդիկ ավելի քիչ կքշեն իրենց օտոն ավելի քիչ pollution գլա so it's intentional they're doing this because they don't want us to drive and the question is do you want to be deprived of your car I don't want to be deprived of my car
because that's my mobility
yeah but if they're taking away lanes of traffic մարդիկ նկատած են Glendale մանավանդ Brand Boulevard both ways 2 lanes of traffic մեկ հադահանած են bike lane թրածեն bike lane քշող bicycle քշող չի գա բայց ինչու գնեն որովհետև գսեն եթե դեղ չունիս քշելու եթե դեղ չունիս օթոն park անելու, ուրեմն օթո չես քշեր։ So բիդի զորեն մեզի որ մեր օթոները ցկենք։
But California and LA հատկապես is a car-driven society.
Right, I mean, I understand.
Without car, you can't do anything.
Correct. If you I live in Glendale. If I worked in Glendale, down the street, of course I would ride my bike. I would walk. But that's not a reality. Do you live and work in the same city?
No.
I don't live and work in the same city. Nobody looking at home probably lives and works in the same city. So it's a dream, it's a fantasy that they have, that they want us to live their fantasy.
Okay, coming to the campaign,
Yep.
we've got about how are you going to win this thing against a little bit more better known candidate, let's say?
And I'm glad you asked that. So we need about 100,000 non-Republicans. So I'm running as a Republican, okay? So if you take the Republicans and the Armenians, there's about 100,000 people I have to reach. And it's easy because I am a moderate Republican. And so there are many moderate Democrats and also independents who are sick of the progressives. Asiga dievesche Republican Democrat intem. Asiga progressive versus non-progressive. Yevasem martots 80-85% non-progressive. So I'm not saying I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat. No. We don't like the progressives. Let's come together. Let's reverse everything that they've done.
What are some of your key issues that you're, I don't know how much uzeskortun rananel? Crime, you said, is a
Right.
big issue. Homelessness is
Right.
an issue. High cost of living.
Yes.
Anything else that the district is worried about?
Well, again, my issues are your issues. My issues are the people's issues. So yes, crime, homelessness, and cost of living, those are the top three. Also, illegal immigration. Yes, a lot of us are immigrants, but we came here legally. We don't want to use our money to spend on people who are not here legally. We can barely get health insurance. They're giving illegal immigrants free health insurance that we have to pay for. So those kinds of things. The politicians, they're all dirty. I'm sick of all of them. The Democrats and the Republicans. I want to do term limits. I also want a balanced budget. Մենք մեր դունը ծախսերնից պետք է հաշիվներնից պետք է գիտնանք։ Ինչու մեր կառավարությունը իրեն հաշիվը չնայր գոր։ So I want to do a balanced budget. I don't want to get any more debt. We should pay down our debt. We should lower people's taxes. We should be responsible with our money in the government.
Ասում կարելի է նել ամեն, I mean, there's, the government been running deficit for years now. The national debt is like 35 trillion or something. It's big. And how do it's not solving us as issue?
Everybody wants the government to work for them. Everybody wants the government to work better. Everybody wants to pay lower taxes. We have just needed somebody who speaks to the people simply, gets the point across easily, and is also one of the people, right? I am a doctor. I have my medical practice. I am one of the people. I am running because I've had enough. So there are enough people, Pavagan Martik Kanvor, Chapa Ansav, իրենց կարծիքով ուրեմն գուզեն դարբերություն, դարբեր փամը, դարբեր անցմը։ Նույնիսկ անձանոթ մեկը at least իրենց մեկ մնե։
Okay. Կարևորը որ շահիլն է, like in everything in life, չէ՞։
Yep.
At the end you have to win.
Yeah.
Ինչպես կրնաս Laura Friedman-ին շահիլ, խախտել իրեն։
I'll tell you.
What's your plan to win against her?
To win against her, I just remind people what she's done. I'm not going to say anything bad about her record. Exactly. So what is her record? In November, our property taxes are going to go up because there's a proposition on the ballot. Laura Friedman wrote that proposition to increase your property taxes.
Why?
Why? Because she's addicted to spending. They're all addicted to spending. Laura Friedman also supports George Gascon. Everybody hates George Gascon. The worst district attorney
in LA's history.
Ինչու ամենտեղ կողավազակ կա, որտեվ չենք բռներգոր, չենք փանդարգերգոր։ George Gasconin երեսեն։ So ինքը George Gasconin կաչակցնե։ So I just have to remind people of what she's doing, the bad decisions that she's made.
What else? What's her record as in the assembly?
Also her record, she's all about environmental laws. So this 50-cent gas tax increase, That was her. Taking out lanes of traffic so that people can't drive, they are forced to ride bicycles. She supports those. There are going to be speed cameras going up everywhere in Glendale. She wants to make the streets safer. If you want to make them safer, hire more police. No, she's going to make speed cameras to catch you and give you tickets in the mail. She wants your money because she's addicted to spending. Those are all the things that she's done. The speed cameras, taking away traffic lanes, turning them into bicycle lanes, increasing your gas by 50 cents July 1st, saying that she supports George Gascon, who doesn't prosecute criminals, saying that she wants you to pay higher property taxes, higher rent, because she's addicted to spending.
Is she against Prop 13, which limit property
Correct.
taxes?
Yeah, so this was ACA 1, written by her last year, and they passed it to put it on the November ballot. So we all have to vote no on that proposition. It's unbelievable.
I mean, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
That on top of it, we just score more tax personnel. Martos aveli, the people barely making ends meet.
We're barely making ends meet. We're going to house the homeless. $20 billion wasted in the state. They don't know where it went. And we're sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Can you make difference as a congressman in the state politics?
Absolutely.
I mean, Pohanak assembly, you're going to federal government.
So I'll tell you the first thing that I'm going to fix is the homeless problem. Okay? Homelessness is not a housing issue. Homelessness is a mental health issue. I am a doctor. I will diagnose the mental health problem. The very sick people, we will put in mental institutions, get them better.
But what if there's no beds in mental institutions?
You reopen the federal institutions, the ones that they closed in the 60s and 70s. You reopen them. We know that there were abuses. We can learn from our mistakes. You reopen them, get these very schizophrenic people the help that they need. The other people, the drug addicts, 40% of them are from out of state. Their families that are going to support them to stay sober, they are out of state. We need to send them back, reunite them with their families, enroll them in family drug treatment programs. They do better with family involved than without family.
Alex, do you go Gertas community do door-to-door politics? I mean, Martos Kochosis, yes, Alex Balekian, I'm running for Congress, please help me.
Yep.
Support me. You do that? Retail politics, as they call it.
Of course. So yesterday evening, we were in Glendale doing a conversation in the community. Today, I will be in West Hollywood doing a conversation in the community. At the end of May, we will be in Burbank doing a conversation in the community. It's a town hall event. Every month until the election, in all of these areas, I will be doing town hall.
Door-to-door politics.
And also going door to door. So these are town hall forums where there will be people, 30 people, 40 people getting together in a room talking like we are.
Oh, we are.
And then also going door to door. I will start doing door to door August, September, October.
What Martik each cards when they do door to door or town hall, what do they ask you? What are their issues?
Հարցումներն շատ քանքած փողոք կնեն գործ. They just need to get it out. And երբ որ գիտնան, որ ուրիշ անձեր կան, որ նույն փողոքները ունին, որ իրենց նույն խաղապարները ունին, նեղված չեն, գտեսնան, որ okay, միասին ցայն ունենք.
There's a lot of people in the same boat, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So they come and then they feel relieved that somebody thinks like them. And then what I tell them is a lot of people think like us. We just need to, betke gazmagerbvink.
Because Jorti Morganti Bisne, vote for me, help me. I mean, part of the thing is to ask for people to help you.
Of course. And I tell them, I said, the three biggest things that we need votes, contributions, and introductions. So I tell people the most important thing you can do is vote for me. Contributions, we love donations to the campaign. A donation to the campaign allows us to amplify our message. You can go to alexforca30.com to help us with campaign donations. And
how's the contributions? Are they coming?
They're coming better. They're coming better now that we're in the general election. but we still have more to go. We are playing catch up with Laura Friedman. She has the power and the backing of the Democratic Party. But
How much money she has so far? How much money she raised?
She raised over $1 million. Anthony Portantino raised $1.5 million.
And lost.
We raised $150,000 and we still beat them. I say because I'm half Bolsetsi, I'm very tight-fisted, Shatkitsiem. But we still need to. Our goal is to raise $500,000, and so that is why we're aggressively raising funds, and we need everybody to pitch in as best you can because we need to reach that $500,000.
Okay, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll talk about the specific strategy, how to reach beyond the Armenian community. I mean, the Armenian community is going to support you, I'm quite sure, but we need to reach beyond that and dissect some of the numbers that you got in primary elections. Սիրելի պայգամներ, գաչ թաթարմը բիդարնենք և բիդի վերաթանակ մեր հայդակրին։ Սիրելի պայգամներ, մեր հյուրն այսօր Dr. Alex Balekian-ը, որ մեր շրջանի, Glendale ու որ մենք գաբրինք, այս շրջանի Congress-ի տեխնացուն է։ Alex, I know maybe it's a tough battle, որտեվ, you have a better known candidate, as you said, been around a long time, career politician, versus you, who's not well known in the community, but you're one of us, and as Armenian American and a fellow in the medical field as a physician, you take care of patients as a noble field. How do you communicate this to average Joe to support you, besides beyond the Armenian community?
It's said that all politics is local politics, and all voting is emotional. So right now, everybody is very emotional. Everybody is very unhappy. And we just need to find the things that make them unhappy. Different people, darperanserun gadarperi. I think in high endaniknera, right? They're very upset about that their children are getting social justice in the school instead of reading, writing, and math.
Right.
The non-Armenians, the single people, Hollywood, West Hollywood, they're upset the cost of living is so high. They're unsafe on their own streets. They're homeless people. Their business owners are upset about smash and grabs. Older people on fixed incomes are upset that their property taxes, their utility bills are going up. So different people are upset for different reasons. And we are successfully finding those different people and speaking to those different reasons. Older people, they don't really care about what's going on in the schools. They care about their electricity bills. Again, people who want to go to work, they care about their weight, the price is going up. Their money doesn't buy anything. Gas is going up. It takes them now twice as long to get to work because the roads are more congested. Laura Friedman, what else did she do? She passed a law that says you can build an 100 unit apartment with 0 parking.
Where's the park going to be?
They say if there are no parking spaces, people just won't use their cars. So she said, you can get affordable housing, you just have to give up your car. So, so these are direct effects of their laws, of their regulations, and we just have to remind people, you are unhappy because of Laura Friedman's laws. The laws that she passed.
What are some of the things that, besides this, she's done contrary to the belief of her people in her district?
Okay, so let's say for the parents, okay, what has she done? She has voted for laws that, for example, punish parents with a fine. This is why Anthony Portantino lost the election, because he wrote a bill, SB 596, that punished parents who spoke up at school board meetings against the schools, punished with a $1,000 misdemeanor fine. Laura Friedman voted for that bill. She didn't write it, but she voted for it. People say our taxes are too high. She wrote a law, ACA 1, to increase property taxes, to cancel Prop 13. That is on the ballot for November. What else has she done? She has written vaccine mandates, telling every parent that your daughter from 8 to 11 years old must get the HPV vaccine whether you want it or not. Doesn't matter what you think. Parents have some rights, she says, but the state has more rights, and we need to force your daughters to get the HPV vaccine.
Even though parents may be opposed to it.
Even though they may be. She wrote a bill to mandate the HPV vaccine. And that should be up to the choice of the parents, not to the choice of the state. Again, she has written this law to give property developers a pass so they don't have to build parking for units, 80, 100 units. Increases the congestion. People already can't find parking in their neighborhoods. If there's not parking inside the apartment building, they're going to go to the streets. So stupid, silly laws like this. Does Laura Friedman care? No, Laura Friedman lives in the hills of Glendale. She's always going to have parking. She's not going to have congestion. So where she lives, it doesn't affect her. But these laws affect everybody else.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
What about campaign contributions? I mean, she obviously, as you said, there's $1 million she has in her bank. Obviously, so there's some interested group or people who support her.
Unions.
Unions.
So unions are her biggest supporters. Unions are also why California pays $25 billion every year to pensions. Glendale City, because of the unions, has a $90 million budget deficit this year because of pensions.
Because they have to fund the pensions.
Right, because the unions elect these politicians. Politicians vote to increase the pensions. Everybody's happy except you and me, the taxpayer.
That we have to fund it.
Correct, we have to fund it. And then everything's going to go bankrupt soon.
What can you do if you're given the opportunity to be elected the next congressman?
I will do several things. So the first thing that I will do is, as I mentioned, solve the homelessness crisis by treating it as a mental health issue rather than a housing issue. That's number one. Number two, strengthen the border. Get comprehensive immigration reform. Deport everybody who came here illegally since Biden got elected.
Do that? There's millions of people that illegally came here.
What? If you are going to make a system that's going to let people in, so again, my parents were immigrants. You know, everybody, all of us were immigrants. Yes. So we need to recruit hardworking immigrants who will respect our Constitution and who will integrate in American life. So we need to get people who speak the language. We need to get people who have job skills that the country needs. We need to get people who have who are hardworking and will create jobs, like my father did when he came to this country, opened up a small fast food joint. Okay, so we need to recruit the best and brightest immigrants. We need a system that everybody respects, and you can't respect the system if people are coming in and cutting in line. That's another thing. Another thing that I would do is also, I would change the tax code so that everybody has access to their retirement account, their IRA money, all of it, whenever you want to, no penalty, no taxes, so long as you use that money to buy a home. People say they can't afford a home because their money is tied up. If you get your retirement money early, the government taxes you, they charge you a fee, but the banks, Wall Street, they have our money for 30 years, 40 years. My money is theirs until I'm 60. They're gambling with it. They buy up real estate with it. Im tramese. Inchi ravonkov im tramovas khumar gkhangor dungar nengor. Եթե ես կուզեմ ննդունել, պետք է իմ տրամես ինձ իդակ. So that's what I would do. I know, because if a young couple that's been saving since they were 20, 25, now they're 35, 40, they want to buy a house, all that money they should access tax-free, penalty-free.
Take the money out.
Take the money out so long as you buy a house, because that's what they're going to do with it, buy a house.
But isn't that jeopardizes their retirement?
So
If you take the money out early,
correct.
your money is tied up in your house.
Your money is tied up in your house, but if you are living responsibly, so we have to teach people also financial responsibility. Like your parents taught you, like my parents taught you, don't live,
Beyond
you should
your
live within
means.
your means. Don't live beyond your means. And also, how does the middle class get the American dream? How does the middle class build their fortune? With the equity in their home. Right?
Which is good. That's the best way to
Correct.
build.
That's not just where you live. It's an investment in your future, in your children's future.
Let's go back to the primaries. Եթե առնես ատիվերը,
Yeah.
եւ նայես քանի վոտարավ Laura Friedman, քանի վոտ Tunaril,
Yeah.
Portantino was third. I mean, if you take these numbers, if you dissect them, is there things you see that will benefit you?
Absolutely.
And you can pick up these votes, let's say, from, I don't know, Portantino votes, or away from Laura Friedman, or her side is pretty much locked on to her.
So, excellent question. So, Laura Friedman got 30% of the votes, which is what you would expect for a progressive candidate. Okay, I got 18%. Portantino and Fewer each got 13%. So that's 26% that went to a moderate Democrat. Laura also got votes from people, Democrats, who didn't know her. Ayo Glendale Burbanki Mech Zanoter, Pites, Sim Hollywood, West Hollywood, Anzanoter. Yetehima Marti Kitnan Vosh, Ais Gina As Tegnazun, Idens Taxere, Gepartrats Negor, Idens Benzinin Kinere, Gepartrats Negor. Իրենց ջամփաները ամեն գոծեգոր որ bicycle lane today. When they get to know Laura, they will not like Laura. So I'm very happy because
So each kneskur որ as message martots yerta որ kitnan. I didn't know that, and I'm a very in tune on what's going on.
Again, it's all about the messaging. So coming on shows like this where I talk directly to the audience and I educate you. We are doing social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Kind of non-traditional.
Non-traditional. We're also,
which is very effective.
Yes.
You know.
We're also going to do advertisements, newspaper advertisements, billboards, but also just getting out in the community, talking to people, getting to know them. When you said, are you going to knock on the doors, you know, do a concierge concierge campaigning. When I would go to people's doors, Peranin Patskamanar, they said, Tegnadzuma penav che gadzim dunas. You know, im terkas chetotvatz. So, like, they said, I'm going to vote for you because you came to my house. That means a lot to them.
Of course.
Yeah, she's not doing that because she thinks she has it in the bag. That's fine. But the more people I go and meet, the more we're going to do this.
On your numbers that were statsar, do you know that? Or you don't know? What's the percentage?
Yeah,
Of the 17,000 votes you got?
18,000 votes.
18,000 votes.
I'm sorry, no, 26,000.
26,000 votes you got.
26,000.
Which is
She got
a respectable number.
Yeah,
For
26,000.
the first time running, you know.
It is, yes. So, Tejvare esel urdere neganan kavenera. I'll tell you what we do know. So the Armenians, most Armenians are actually no party preference. 30% Democrat, 30% Republican, 40% undeclared. No party, okay? They don't trust anybody.
That's our tradition.
So that's why they don't belong to one party either. So if you look in the entire district, the turnout in that group, no party preference, was only about, I would say, barely 20 or 21%, even though the total district was 40%. But in Glendale, that turnout was 27%.
Wow.
So there was a higher turnout in Glendale.
Turnout, yeah.
So we reached a lot of them, yes.
Panav debate radzes Laura Friedman.
Yes. I mean, ուրախությամբ գերտամ debate կնեմ, բայց ինքը չուզեր, գվախնա, որտեվ she knows she's going to get completely annihilated. Her first email went out to her supporters saying, let me introduce you to extremist Alex Balekian. She called me an extremist. Why? Because I gave my medical opinion about how children with gender dysphoria you shouldn't send them to irreversible surgeries, irreversible puberty blockers. Let the kids be kids. So she called me an extremist. Why? Because she has nothing to debate about. She has no policy positions that are better than mine. So she resorts to name calling me an extremist, and lying. She said that I was arrested during the school board protests in Glendale in June 2023.
Is that true?
I wasn't even there. There's a video of me at a city council meeting at the exact moment where those those happened. And you know what I was doing at the school board, at that city council meeting? I was speaking out against the 400% tax increase for garbage. Do you know your garbage rates went up by 400%?
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised, yes. I was speaking out against that. Of course, the city passed it. But she says I was arrested. I wasn't arrested. She lies.
I mean, look, Glendale has a huge Armenian population.
Yep.
40% of the people are Armenians. We have 4 on the city council. But there's friction between them. You know, obviously, you need to capture the Armenian vote unanimously, not split the vote. And also, some of the, independents and moderate, people that are in the middle, that they see you as a real candidate, not just, some guy, some Armenian guy, a doctor who's trying to run. I mean, that's where you need to capture. I mean, in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
I agree, yeah.
What are the steps you're doing besides the retail politics, social media? You said you're very active.
Yes.
How about some TV spots? No.
We are the trouble with Los Angeles is there are multiple different. I mean, I don't know how many different Armenian stations there are. A lot of people don't watch television. Some people just watch streaming. So there's different ways that we're going to do it. But in person for the Armenians, for example, we're going to go in person. We're going to be at the Navasartian Games. We're going to.
By the way, I'm the president this year.
I know.
I'm happy to host you there. So.
Yes, I would love it. So yes, we will be at the Navasartian Games. We will be in Verdugo Park for Vardavar. We will have a booth in July, signing people up, registering voters. So we're going to be in the community.
Very active.
Very active, reminding people. Հայերուն ամենամեծ թշնամին հայը պիտի լա, հայերուն անկործությունը եւ անդարբերությունը.
We're coming to the end of our show, and it's been phenomenal discussion. Ինչ կուզես to the voters of this district. I'll give the full floor to you.
Okay.
So, present yourself.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to speak to you directly. Ցեզի պիտի ասեմ, որ պետք է մասնակցենք, որպես հայ, պետք է մասնակցենք, պետք է քվեարկենք, ասի խնդրանք չի ասիգա հրաման է. This is no longer a request, this is an order. This is the first time in 22 years that this seat is open, that there's no incumbent. So when that happens, it is anybody's game. Adam Schiffer 22 տարի հոնեստացավ, եթե Laura Friedman-ը ընդրվի, ինքնա 22 տարի պիտի նստի, այսպիսի արիթ պիտի չունենանք. As one of my supporters said, this is a risky bet, but we're never going to have a chance to make a bet like this ever again. So that's why it's now or never. Enough is enough. Let's do this because we're not going to get another chance.
Well, Shrangaling, thank you.
Thank you.
For being my guest today, and you've got an position that we obviously want you to win.
Thank you.
And win big. And the district, it's big district as you said.
Yep.
And it takes a lot to people attention. And there's so many issues, and it's a presidential election this year.
Yep.
So more people will show up to vote, hopefully.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, ich weiß gesehen, Ayrenov, Gamara Perenov. So make machten kez hachauchun as a fellow Armenian. You've guzem Mortun Shais, and you were my guest before the primaries, and hopefully we help you get some few more votes.
Thank you, Mike.
Seri Paigamner, մենք կմաղթենք մեր Փարեգամին Դակր Ալեքս Բալեկյանին հաջողություն եւ կխնդրենք, որ դուք խուրներամ երթակ եւ նոյեմբերին ընտրություններուն general election-ին ընդրենք մեր Փարեգամը Ալեքս Բալեկյան գիշեր բարի